Excuse me? Right here. There's the cup. Marks the spot. Yeah, just give him a little room to breathe. All right, guys, let me get out of here. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, questions for Larry? What's it been like so far for you?
A lot lost sleep, but it's been fun though. It really has. It's been a great deal of fun to try to mesh this thing together. My focus is about our players and make sure there's a smooth transition for whoever gets the job and for our players.
Do you plan on applying for the job?
I do plan on applying for the job.
And Larry, what are your reasons for applying for the job? I think we might know, but I think people would like to hear it from you.
Well, I'm 18 years at Penn State. I think I understand the Penn State culture, understand exactly where we are. This is a great university, and there's some great players in our locker room. And not to want to be a part of that, you're crazy. And I think our players deserve opportunity to move forward in a smooth transition, and then hopefully I can provide that for them.
What's it mean to you that so many players and former players have sent out messages and said they'd like to see you get this spot?
And that's special. You hope you build a relationship with players over the years that things like this come happening. They step to the plate and without you telling them to do anything, they do it on their own. That's, to me, is very special. It just tells you about the relationship you build as a coach. It's more than just coaching. It's about impacting people's lives, and I think that shows volume what those guys are doing right now.
Larry, Allen Robinson declared for the draft yesterday. You just talk about him and how much of his decision to leave early had to do with Bill O'Brien also leaving.
I don't know. I think Allen and his family has some counseling to decide what's best for him, and I think that's where you got to look at it. He's a great player. We're going to miss him. There's no question about that. But he takes another chapter in his life moving forward to the NFL, and we've got to give him a blessing because it's happened before. And Allen might be the best situation for him. I don't know where Coach O'Brien's decision had anything to do with it or not. I know that they met before he left, and so whether he coached the state or not, I think the decision will still probably been the same. I'm not really sure of that because I wasn't involved in it. Okay.
Coach, what are you doing in terms of the 2014 recruits?
Can't really talk about those guys on the sense that we're active recruiting future players and communicating with those guys. Those guys have my cell number and they're calling, and that's basically I can go.
How about the current guys? Who have you spoke with? And
I spoke to half the team last night. I'll speak to the other half tonight. I've talked to Christian and talked to everyone. They're all excited about coming back here, I can tell you that. They're ready for the 2014 season. Some guys are going to come back in next week to start getting the weight room, so it's kind of really exciting that they're ready to go. Our players are resilient, and they have been. For the last 2.5 years, that's what they've been. And so this is not a knockdown. This is continue to pick themselves up and keep going forward. That's what Penn State football is all about, though. Ability to fight and continue to move forward. And our guys are moving forward, and that's what excites me, just to stand here for this little short period of time to be an interim head coach. That makes me proud because I know what's behind me. Some great kids.
These guys, a lot of them have been through an awful lot in terms of coaching changes and different things going on. How are they dealing with it generally? Another coaching change, which could be a dramatic thing for younger guys like this.
One of the players said, yes, because we've been through a lot, but this is small. Penn State is Penn State. We know where our lives are. We know what we're going to get from this. We're okay, Coach. We'll move forward. They're very, very happy with Coach O'Brien and the fact that he's moving forward in his career. And these guys are ready to go. I mean, they've been there. This is small compared to what they've been through, and the guys are ready to go. That's the sentiment I've get from most of the players I've talked to.
Has anybody told you they don't plan to come back?
No, I have not heard that.
In that same vein, has there been any indication of assistants under O'Brien that are staying on board or working with you during this transition period?
Right now, every guy's here that I know about. No one is turning a resignation to move forward. Coach O'Brien is not making a decision of who's going to take on the staff. We're back in the office of full staff on Monday, and we expect everybody to be here ready to go. Yep.
Well, it sounds as if Mac McWhorter has really helped you during this time. Has he been the main guy who's been by your side, trying to help, steer Penn State through this?
Who's this?
Mac McWhorter. Is that not?
Mac is a great guy. There's been a couple of guys that have been in contact with me during this process. But Matt is a great guy. He's really been helpful in talking, communicating. Everybody has. Every guy has helped out in the sense of where we are right now, which is really neat. And it's a great coaching staff.
Obviously, I'm not on the search committee, so you don't have to sell yourself to me, but
kind
of give me an idea of what you're going to try to tell that committee that's going to set you apart from everybody else.
I'm going to be myself, first of all. I'm going to be who I am. I'm Larry Johnson. This is who I am, and I can't be anybody different. I'm not going to do anything different to get this job that I do every day of my life. It's important. I know that the Penn State Nation is waiting to see what happens here. I just say to myself every morning, why not? You know, why not? And that's, when I get up in the morning, that's what I think about. So I don't have a plan. I have a plan, but I don't have what I'm going to do, a campaign speech. I don't have that. I'm just going to be myself, and I know that hopefully the Nittany Nation will get behind me and move this thing forward. Our players need a change, but maybe the change is standing right in front of you. So we'll see as we go forward.
Do you recall your first interview at Penn State? Was it 18 years ago? Did you?
I do. I thought about it. I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I said 18 years ago I drove to town in a van, met Coach at the Nittany Lion Inn. I'll never forget this. And we sat at the table. I had little Larry with me. And we started talking. He said, we're going to have breakfast, Coach. And when we finished talking, he says, I'm going to give you the job. They're going to show you around town. We'll talk later on about salaries. And I looked at him and I go, whoa. And I prepared like for weeks for this big interview with Coach Paterno. Not one football question. He talked to me about life. He talked to me about your kids will be there. You'll be able to watch your kids play. You know what I mean? And we met and talked about salary. He said the same thing again. Is this what I'm going to pay you? You know what I mean? Go home and think about it, pray about it, and we'll get together later on. Never pressured me, you know. And I've never forgotten that sometimes coaching is not about the X and O's. It's about people. And I think Coach Paterno saw that. And I'm grateful, really. 18 years looking back, I'm grateful to have the chance to have been under Coach Paterno for all those years. I learned a great deal from a great man.
Can you reflect, can you reflect a little bit on all the changes we've been through in the last 2 years? How's it affected you?
Well, it's emotional because you worry about the players. When you're a player coach, you worry about your players. And my reason for staying has been because of my players. I can tell you that right now. It has nothing to do with salary, money, or title. I believe, when I tell a guy I'm going to be here, I believe that. And I hope they believe that. And so I think the transition for me is just a matter of, you know, if you're not here, you move on. It's just part of the coaching career, you know what I mean? Coach Bill O'Brien could have walked in and cleaned the whole staff out. He didn't. He kept me. And I wanted to be here, you know, and thank God I have, because I've had a chance to learn from another great coach, and I think that's what's more important.
Yesterday, Dave Joyner said if you wanted to get your hat in the ring, you're certainly welcome in the mix. What have your interactions been like with him and your conversations been like with him in the last few days?
It's been good. You know, we're trying to walk through this transition period, what we do recruiting-wise, and my plan moving forward into a coach's now. We talked about those kind of things, and I'm certainly, like I said earlier, I'm certainly going to put my hat in the ring, and I think I owe it to our players to do that, and I'm going to do that. But moving forward, and that's what we're doing right now.
Larry, how much does this coaching change kind of set Penn State back, and how do you guys get through this as a program?
I don't think it's set us back yet. You know, you say set us back, we haven't played a game yet, so we're still okay. We're in the training mode, and I think our players are going to walk back in here and go to work and train hard. You know, we don't know who the guy's going to be. You know, we don't know what's going to happen future-wise. That's some uncertainty. But right now, our players are coming back here to go to work, and knowing that we're going to play football in 2014, and that's pretty good stuff. Knowing that you're going to do that. So I think that's our focus right now. Yep.
Larry, have you allowed yourself to think that if you don't get the job, would you be willing to still stay, or is that?
That's a great question. I'm not there yet, Mark. To be honest with you, I haven't thought about that at all because I'm so focused on task at hand right now, our players. That'll be a conversation I'll have to have with myself as I get closer to it, but that's not something in my mind right now.
Hey, Larry, do you know James Franklin or Al Golden at all?
Who's that?
James Franklin and Al Golden, do you know those guys?
I do know both those guys. We met on recruiting trails and several occasions. And I worked with Al 1 year here when he was here as a linebacker coach. So I do know both those guys, yep.
What's your schedule like for the next few days? Are you able to take a deep breath at all, or are you full speed ahead?
You should see them at the top of my desk, the things that I'm working on right now. You know, really the focus again is we've got a conference call to our players again today. Make sure I reach every guy, every run-on player. Just ensure that everything is in place, and then continue to do some paperwork and get ready for our first official visit, 16, 17, or 17, 18, 19, and just kind of moving forward. Just someone say you're in, you're out, or you know, in front of coaches announce. So really, that's all I'm doing.
It's safe to say that this is your dream job. That this would be your dream job, and emotionally getting this close to it and seeing it this close, you know, how's that been for you emotionally?
I'm good emotionally. You know, I've been here before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In motion, a dream job to leave, dream job to go do some other things. And it is a great place to be. I can tell you that. It's a great place to be a head football coach. You know, we've got a great university, great faculty, great student body. And so who wouldn't want to be a part of that? You know what I mean? To see it and be around some great coaches in my career here. I'm very blessed to be able to do that. So yeah, I know where's my dream job. There's a place that you can call home. And I like to call Penn State University my home. I can tell you that.
Have you interviewed yet?
I have not.
There's been a lot of mixed reaction among fans about Bill leaving, the timing of everything. What's your take on the way everything went down, if you care to share it with us?
It's a business. I mean, you guys know that. You know, it's like your jobs. You know, opportunity comes, do you take it now, or do you wait 2 weeks to take it? You know what I mean? It was an opportunity in a lifetime that he wanted. You know what I mean? It was the best for his family. And we don't know all the ins and outs, so we've got to be careful how we judge what he did. So, but I do know this. It was a tough decision for him. It wasn't something he just made it overnight. I know it was a tough decision for him, and we wish him the best. And we've talked, we met just recently before he left to go to Houston, and that was a great conversation between him and I. But I'll be really excited for him. He'll do great things. He's a really bright coach and a great man. So we wish him the best, Mark.
You mentioned assistant coaches. What about support staff? Because that's so important, whether it's recruiting coordinators, strength guys, all of that stuff. Is everybody still here?
Right now, everybody's still here. I talked to Fitz this morning, and he's all jacked up, ready to go on the 13th. And that's the way I have to proceed, you know, that everybody's here until someone tells me otherwise. And that's what we're moving forward.
Okay, one more, guys. Anybody else? Okay, thanks, Larry.
Yep,
Thanks,
you got it.
Larry.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You got it.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.